would like you to respect that we have some issues regarding our characters and storyline that may make our lives a little easier if they were fixed, that is to say.
Maybe it's time for a little update.
Heaven knows. Some of us have very little to complain of, to be sure.
But I, for instance, still fail to understand why I can't simply just wake up at that moment, that almost final moment, that moment when everyone in the audience, night after night, I must say, is waiting for with bated breath, just before my Romeo drinks his poison. Then he wouldn't have to die, and I wouldn't have to stab myself, which is really rather a nuisance every performance.
Yes, I should say so. And what about us?
I'm sorry?
Us, the dead girls, drowned,
Smothered, stabbed.
I'm sorry. I know we all have legitimate complaints, but it's a whole different story when you have to die every single show.
Yes, the dead girls. Maybe they should write a poem for us. To say that we're puppets of men's ideas, an argument can be found. But how can we argue with what we believe when we're stabbed, smothered, and drowned? Could it be a matter of course when we're never allowed to feel remorse? But how could we go against our bards renowned when we're stabbed, smothered, and drowned?
Living happily after is not in the cards for we ladies fair, for that would our plot forever confound, since we're
stabbed, smothered, and drowned.
Well, that was lovely. But excuse me if I'm trying to keep this straight. So you, Juliet, wouldn't actually die, is that it?
It would rather destabilize the storyline, wouldn't it?
I think, Jackie, that all she's asking for is perhaps a happy ending. Heaven knows.
But there is a happy ending. The Montagues and the Capulets reconcile over Romeo and Juliet's dead bodies. Isn't that enough?
Oh, he's gonna love this
Why
one.
couldn't they reconcile over my attempted suicide like the friar intended? Just to scare them. To that I'd rather die than read that putrid Paris.
But that would mean...
I think it's a lovely idea, just as I think it would be a lovely idea if Hamlet, for just a moment, could reveal his true feelings to me instead of driving me absolutely insane with confusion.
It just doesn't work, though, does it? What sends you over the edge in this tragedy is the combination of your mutual, unfulfilled love and the fact that Hamlet kills your father.
I mean, that's really the biggie, isn't it? It would just be nice, that's all I'm saying.
Nice? Did I just hear the word nice? So let me get this straight. You want everybody to live happily ever after, is that it?
Is there something wrong with that? Well, is there?
It works for me.
Except that Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy.
Do you want to see a tragedy? I'll show you a tragedy. I'm a tragedy. Being kept waiting at the altar, dragging through muck and mire in your wedding dress, that's a tragedy.